All right, Saturday morning, Krug Show. Coach is in the house. We got a lot to go to, a lot to get to, I should say. The draft coming up, just a matter of a couple weeks away. The 23rd of April. We'll be here shortly. We're going to go dual mocks today. I'm going to do one. Coach is going to do one. We're going to talk about some of the headlines. We're going to get into a lot of it all right now. Come aboard. All right, welcome to the Krug Show on a Saturday. Get it rolling. The coach is in the house. We're really fired up. We're going to talk some Niners, talk some draft. Of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle. The best barbecue in all of Northern California is Pig and a Pickle. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. Later on this year, they're going to open in Petaluma. Don't miss it. We will tell you all about it. Check out Pig and a Pickle. Best barbecue in Northern California. I don't like plaudits normally, but for them, it's deserved. Check them out. Tell them, walk in there, get some brisket. Tell them the Krug sent you. Also, the Krug Show is presented by Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app. Prize Picks is super simple. You just pick more or less on player stats or even game outcomes. Build your lineup. It's available in most states, including California. So if you haven't checked it out yet, use code HMA. And when you play $5, you can get $50 in lineups instantly. And we will have a lineup on the show today. But of course, the links are in the description for all of our sponsors. We'll talk more in the as the show goes. Some of the other sponsors as well. But thanks to Pig and a Pickle, and of course to our great friends at Prize Picks. Coach, good to see you, man. How are you?
My dog, feel good, man. We got the draft coming up, weeks away. Excited about all of the picks. Niners are still adding guys on, which is very exciting. Got everything together, and I'm excited, man. Happy to do it.
What do you think of the signing? I mean, the Niners yesterday, out of nowhere, really signed a veteran cornerback, Jack Jones. He gets a one-year deal. He's 28. Started all 17 games for the Dolphins last year. 77 tackles, 1 pick, 6 pass breakups, 2 forced fumbles. Once upon a time, he was a 4th-round pick at ASU. He's got 4 career pick sixes, 8 interceptions, 33 pass breakups. Patriots drafted him out of ASU. He went to the Raiders and then the Dolphins. What do you think, Coach? I mean, it's a 1-year deal for Jack Jones, and some people love it. Other people are not as thrilled by it. I'm a big fan of this move. What do you think?
I love it. Also, what I think is I forgot to stream this. We hopped in here so fast. I forgot to stream this show to my channel. So we're going one way right now. I'm truly a guest on the platform this evening, but we'll get that handled later. One thing that I like about the move is that I think that it fills a need. We lost Chase Lucas, I think, to the Bucks, I believe.
Hey, by the way, if you want, I know we're doing the behind the scenes stuff up front right here, but if you want, we'll take a minute. If you want to, you can throw it up there right now if you want.
Oh yeah, let's go. I'm doing it right now. But we'll do it. I really want to get this corner pick out. I want to get this take out.
Sure.
All right. So, but I like the pick because it spells a rejuvenation for the defensive backfield. What I mean by that is Chase Lucas is gone, right? And really, Chase Lucas. Listen, I know that Chase Lucas, he was a fan favorite. He was punchy, playing in that slot position, being a willing blitzer. He was always that guy that, in a sense, we always left ourselves asking, like, why doesn't he play more? Like, why doesn't Chase Lucas get on the field more? Well, the versatility, okay? Speed is pretty much average for what you would see out of a corner, 4.5 speed, which isn't really anything to write home about, but it's adequate. It's not anything where he's going to get the doors knocked off of him when he steps on the field, all right? But he's instinctive, all right? He's got elite short area quickness. Like we already mentioned before, he can mirror receivers very well. One thing that I also like about him is that he's been around the league for a time or two, so he's got some warranted swag. Keyword on warranted, right? He's got warranted swag. I love how aggressive he is. He's confident. He's great in off-man coverage, right? That's an important nuance for what we do on the Niners side of the defensive side. He also is a film study guy because he jumps routes. That's also something that I saw in him where you don't jump routes. You don't try to get ahead of a receiver in today's league with how fast everybody is unless you know when to fire. And also, everything that we lost from Chase Lucas, he brings. He can blitz off the edge as well. So, I don't know. Does that mean that Renardo Green is gone? Does that mean that the conversations about the organization not being too pleased with the fit of Renardo Green, does that mean that they're massaging that now? Does it mean that the Niners are basically done in the draft looking at DB or corner for that matter? I don't know. These are all great questions that I wanted to ask you so we can have a good conversation about it. But overarching, I like the move. We got a better depth piece and we rose the floor. So I like it.
You know, it's a really interesting move because it's not the kind of player the Niners typically go for. This guy, as you said, this guy jumps routes. This is an aggressive, the word is hyper aggressive. He's a hyper aggressive corner who's got a lot of swag. As far as his career stats, you said 1 interception, but you know what? There's something here that says 1,802 coverage snaps, 18 touchdowns allowed career, 8 interceptions.
8, okay.
4 in the
I
last
looked
2 years.
I looked him up on Pro Football Reference, and they only had him for 1 pick, so that was a mistake on my bad.
Well, no, you might be right because I'm just looking at somebody else typed this in. This is off a Coach Yak post. I don't know, but he says that he's given up 18 touchdowns, 16 in the last 2 years, which is a lot in the last 2 years. But I will say this: I liked him at ASU. He is feisty. He does jump routes. This guy has been a star. You know, that's the other thing too. It's like not every player is the same, right? This guy is a Long Beach kid who played at Long Beach Poly. He was a star at Long Beach Poly. Long Beach Poly is a national powerhouse program. So this guy's been kind of a celebrity in Southern California for a long, long time. I also like the fact that he's got serious swagger. You know, this is not your. I would imagine this is so unlike the Niners that it just reeks of Raheem Morris. Does it not? I mean, it just seems like this is probably his guy. I'll
give you that. This one seems like an off the beaten path pick. I will agree with you about that. It doesn't seem like what the Niners would do. Pretty much when we go out and we go get DBs, we don't get guys that, I mean, quite frankly, can kind of fight to start. Like, he can fight to get on the field. This is not somebody who's just going to be tucked away in depth. Like, they're going to try to figure out what they need to do to get him on the field. Now, this is the thing about him that's interesting is that we only signed him for 1 year. So, I don't know. What do you think about their plans for Renardo Green, especially with us coming up in the draft, bro? Like, do they want to keep him? Are they building up contingencies now when they have to make any moves? Like, how do they feel about this?
It's a great question. Now, I was told by a very trusted Niner source in the playoffs that Renardo didn't fit in the locker room. And this is before his whole thing with Shanahan. Didn't fit in the locker room, was kind of a loner, probably was going to be shipped off in the offseason. And I also heard that Ricky Pearsall potentially could be shipped off in the offseason. And instead, we got a note from Lynch the other day, when he spoke at the Combine, hey, we really like Renardo Green and he ain't going anywhere. And we want to, Raheem is really excited to work with him. So I think I think there was some frostiness that was legit that was there at the end of the year. I think it was all legit. I just think that, Raheem Morris comes in and, part of, I think, the attraction to have Raheem Morris is that he can be like the head coach of the defense. And I think that's kind of how Kyle attracts these guys, beyond the money part, of course, is just to say, hey, look, I'm not going to dip my head into your meetings. I'm not going to dictate coverages or blitz schemes or anything else. You're going to be totally autonomous to do whatever you want. So you're going to have a huge say in the players that we draft. You're going to have a huge say in the scheme that you run, and you're going to have total carte blanche on game day to do what you want to do. And I think that's probably how he attracts somebody who's got, Raheem Morris's pedigree as a coach. And so I think these are Raheem Morris's guys. I think
really,
yeah, because Raheem, I think, has got a pretty good eye for defensive back talent. I mean, give you an example. Last year, they got Xavier Watts out of the draft. Xavier Watts has got a great eye for the ball. He's not your safety that will destroy you, but he is the safety that will pick off passes and pick up fumbles. And he's a magnet to the football. And possession of the ball is, as you know, is the biggest thing you can do on defense is take away possession. So I think the mindset has gone from read and react, guys to let's take some chances. I think they're taking some chances on this guy as a person. They're also taking some chances on this player as a player. I mean, but he's the kind of player that, as you said, smart, instinctive player who jumps routes and makes big plays.
Yeah, he does. He jumps routes, makes big plays. That's one thing that I love about his game. Now let's get into a couple of weaknesses. I mean, he got a teaspoonful of ass. That's all he got. He light in the ass, man. He only like 165, 170. All right, so we're not going to be looking at no big boom hitter that we're going to be seeing. He's a little undersized, and that's when you start to see him struggle. He's going to struggle against big or physical receivers, right? One thing about his calling card is he is aggressive, but at times he is a bit too aggressive. He's one of those guys where he doesn't necessarily trust his strength. And at 170, I wouldn't either. And he lunges a lot. Part of one of the reasons why he does have that swagger. He does play outside his frame. He does play big, even though he's 177 pounds. That can get him in trouble. And you'll see it when he's going against bigger receivers. You'll see it in the run game. He doesn't necessarily deliver a blow, right? He doesn't have a lot of impact in the physicality area. So that's what you're giving up. Yeah, that's what you're giving up.
And he doesn't have long speed. I mean, they timed him, coach, at 4.51. So you're right. He's light. And he doesn't have the long speed, and he's not the biggest guy. I mean, he's 5'10 and 3/4. He's 171 pounds, 4.51. But he's always what I love, and you see this all the time. Some guys, they play in the NFL, but they don't actually play. They sign somewhere every year, but then they play 2 or 3 games and they get hurt, and they just, you look at their football card and you're like, this guy didn't play. Last year, this guy played all the games. The year before, this guy played all the games. In some ways, you can make an argument, Coach, that Jack Jones is a starting corner. That he's not. You could look at this and say, well, maybe he's an upgrade on Darrell Luter, and he might be. But he also might be a starter that allows you to trade Renardo Green on draft weekend for, I don't know, Renardo is a day 2 pick. I would imagine that the Niners would probably want, maybe a 3rd or 4th round pick in return if somebody wanted him. And who knows? I mean, they said that Raheem loves him, but maybe this, if you look at the numbers, they have, they're either with this move, I think it's one of 2 things, Coach. Okay. It's either they are announcing to kind of unofficially that they're taking corner off their board. Like, they don't need any more corners, right?
You think so?
Yeah, that's one. Or what this signifies is that they're building up a surplus so they can trade off that surplus, and almost assuredly that means Renardo Green.
Yeah, one thing that I think we both can agree on is I don't think they're done with the secondary. Not by a long shot. They're not done. They're going to make some more moves. And that could be bringing in draft guys. That could be trading off guys like we talked about. But currently constructed, we don't have a free safety. That's how I feel. I know we have them in the building, but we do not have a center fielder that can really help us and and help prevent getting the defense taken off getting the top taken off the defense. I like Marquise Siegel. I like Jair Brown, but to me, I believe that they're also box safeties. I believe that they're more effective playing closer to the line of scrimmage. So the Niners need a free safety. And again, you said it. Renardo Green, the aloofness, really kind. Sometimes you watch him play and you have to ask yourself, like, does he really want to be there? The mental errors. We all saw him getting chastised by Coach Shanahan on the sidelines during the season. So I don't know. There may be something to it where Renardo Green may be the next guy to move, and they're already building things up behind him to supplant that.
Yeah, and we're going to take a look at the depth chart in just a sec, but let's talk more about Jones for a second because, you and I are both, we've been around. We understand what football is. We understand that you can't get it done with a whole room of guys with no character and guys who are criminal behavior, but at the same time, it is a rough game, and guys make mistakes, especially when they're young. But let's talk about Jones for a second because he has some issues off the field. He was ruled academically ineligible for the 2018 season at USC. He eventually was kicked out of the school for breaking into a restaurant after hours. He later pleaded guilty to a second-degree misdemeanor charge of commercial burglary.
My God.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a dine and dash type situation right there, but who knows? Then he had to go to the JC route, right? So he's had this guy was a hot recruit, right? Everybody wanted him out of Long Beach Poly. He goes to SC, then, and he plays well at SC, like right away. Then he gets in trouble, gets kicked out. He has to go to Moore Park Junior College to get his grades in order. Then he enrolled at Arizona State for the 2019 season, and immediately he's all Pac-12 honors that year, and because this guy can really play football. And this is a guy who really, really played at a high level, both for SC and for ASU, but he did have the academic, ineligibility. He was arrested for breaking into a restaurant after hours. Where do you look at this as the 49ers saying, you know what, we are, we know our window's closing. And we're going to take some more chances on guys that may not be Boy Scouts because we want that ball hawking field demeanor. We want that guy who plays the ball like a receiver and runs the routes and transitions and can play off. They want the guy who can play, and it's late in the process, and they don't have a lot of money to spend. And sometimes you got to take guys with some glitches when you're in this time of the calendar and you have a need at corner. What do you think about his off field? Agreed.
Listen, they ain't choir boys, all right? And we're not signing them to be mentors and to be lead. The off field stuff is well documented. I watched it myself. What do you say? What do you say? I
have lines. If it's hands on a woman, I not only do I don't want to touch you. I don't want to touch that prospect. If it's anything, really creepy, anything, any kind of lewd, weird behavior, anything involving children, I'm not touching that. It's like I'm that guy. That's the third rail. It's like, no, I'm not going for that. But you know what? I do know, because I did work in the Canadian Football League, and I did coach. And a lot of times, I was a young man at that point, and a lot of times I would socially go out with the players. And I'll just tell you the truth, is that sometimes when you're a big, tough guy, I know this sounds crazy, but you're a target. I know that sounds absolutely.
That's not crazy at all.
People would be like, come on, Krug. You're telling me that people go to a bar and they pick on Mikael Williams? Yes. They literally do. I've seen it. I've thrown hands outside bars defending guys that were 3 times my size and 10 times as tough, because some big dude with tats rolled up on him and said, hey, you're a big dude. And, maybe bump shoulders, and they didn't, maybe the football player doesn't act subservient or, oh, I'm sorry, sir. And all of a sudden it's like a couple words are spoken, and now guys are throwing hands. So guys go after these players, not necessarily because they know they're famous, just because they know they're big, and it's like, hey, let's attack the big guy and kick his ass.
No, that's a real thing, Larry. I did physical security. I had my own security firm for over 15 years in DC. So bars, clubs, and pubs, events, executive protection, you name it. That's what I was into before I got into cybersecurity. Now, what's crazy is that when you start a night, you have to sit down and brief the fellas before we get going. And I tell them all the time, if he's half your size, he got something. Ain't no little dude gonna be hopping out of his body to be challenging you with just his two hands. All right, so you better pay attention to the optics. You got to read the room. All right, if you got 2, 3 little 5, 6, 5'8", 5'9" guys running around here talking tough, being overtly aggressive, remove yourself. You got to start understanding it. I got taught that lesson at a very young age. You know, my dad's 30 years retired sheriff's department, so he let me know, man, when they see you coming, they're intimidated. All right. Period. Nobody wants to have a discussion with you because they're always going to take it to what they don't want, which is you whooping their ass. So they're going to try to beat you to the punch. That happens a lot. The majority of all of the people who I've ever kicked out of clubs, ever kicked out of pubs, ever had to arrest or put down, small guys and women. That's pretty much it. The biggest dudes in the club, we see each other and it's like, what's up, bro? What's up? You got nukes and I got nukes. We don't want them to cross over and we both go down. So there's a respect there. But I'm telling you, man, women and them little sawed-off 5'9" dudes, they always turn up, Larry. They always turn up.
Seriously. And I'll tell you, I had a girlfriend in high school that had such a mouth on her that, man, I was literally fighting every weekend because I'd walk in. My boyfriend's going to kick your ass. I'm like, what? And the next thing I know, it's like I'm squaring off with some guy because she talked a big game. I will say this, though. I one time walked into a bar in San Francisco in the 90s. It was called Covered Wagon, right? And I walked in, and I'd been doing a radio show. This is like mid-90s. And so my buddies had been there for hours drinking. They're like, oh, we're down here at the Covered Wagon. So I got my car, drove down to the Covered Wagon, south of Market. I walk in. It's like 12 o'clock. My buddy hands me a beer. My other buddy hands me a shot. There's all kinds of my friends there. They're all standing around. I'm standing right there. I do the shot. I take 2 pulls off the beer. And, Coach, I swear it's hilarious. This 6'7" skinhead guy literally turns around at the bar, and he looks right at our group. And he goes, you guys, and he's pointing with his finger, you guys have been talking shit all night long. And when he gets to long, he's pointing right at me. Mm-hmm. And I just started laughing. I go, I'm like, bro, did you just see me? I just walked in. This is the first shot I had. And he stepped right up on me. And I seriously, I'm up against the wall. I got nowhere to go. Even if I wanted to flight, it's fight or flight.
No,
right?
no fight or flight. There was no flight involved.
There was no flight.
Take a flight.
There was no. I was trying to book a flight, and I could not book a flight. And I'm looking at this guy, and I've been in enough fights to know when a guy kind of twitches, any kind of twitch, or a hand's coming, right? So sure enough, he kind of flinches a little bit, and I kind of ducked out, and I see this overhand right coming down, and I'm up against the wall, and now I'm down at catcher's crouch. I'm down like in a catcher's crouch, and he crushes me in the side of the head with his fist. And my 2 buddies, one's a Portland police officer, the other is a 250-pound guy who's 5'8" and benches 4 bills. And they just grab this guy as I'm in this catcher's crouch, and we're like 25 feet from the door, and everybody just goes vacuumed out the front door.
Don't stop moving.
It was just like, I've never seen people get out of a bar faster. It was just like, whoosh. It was like we were vacuumed. It was like an airplane, pressure cabinet opened. Everybody just gets vacuumed out the front door. I'm sitting there. I jump up out of my out of my catcher's crouch. I run to the door. I walk outside. I look right at the guy, and he's right about to come at me. And my buddy hits him from the side and knocked him out. One punch. Falls down between two cars. He got up on his knees. My buddy kneed him a couple times. Cops roll up instantly, and the bouncer saw it all and is like, that guy.
That one, yeah.
The Viking with the skinhead, punched this other guy. He started the whole fight. And the guy remembered because he had just looked at my ID, right? I just walked in. So he's like, the guy just showed me his ID, and the next thing I know, he's in a brawl. It was the fastest brawl I've ever seen in my life. There's no way he started that, It was like, so the cop arrested the skinhead, and off he went. But that was a big dude. That dude was like 6'7". But generally, you're right. It's the small guys that want to.
It's small fight. Guys, bro. They fight. Always want to wreck.
Let's show the reaction to Jack Jones coming to the Niners before we get into our mock, because there's some couple things I want to react to here. Here is both Jack Jones, and then we're going to catch a little Baldy. Here's Jack Jones. I don't know what he's saying, but it should be good. Here we go. Let's turn the volume up here.
He's just happy.
So he's happy, checking in on Jack Jones. He's feeling good. How is Baldy feeling about it? Let's hear from Baldy here.
Let's go.
Baldy always has something good. Here we're turning.
He's a ball hawk. You watch him on. I love the way Jack Jones plays corner. He's a ball hawk. You watch him on Christmas Day. This is the difference in the game right here. Mahomes, as soon as he sees that ball released from Mahomes, watch him put the ground and break on the ball. He's got hands like a receiver. He's got instincts. He's got 4 interceptions with the Patriots and the Raiders, and 3 of them have been for touchdowns. Had 3 interceptions at Long Beach Poly, USC, Arizona State, the Patriots, and now the Raiders. Ball hawk, Jack Jones.
Yeah, he said it well there. I mean, ball hawk. This guy's not big. He's not fast. But what he is, he's got tremendous confidence and great instincts, and he breaks on the fucking football, man. So
he does.
I like it.
He's got
really
8 overall interceptions. He had 1 interception last season. Yeah. That's where we're getting. I'm like, why the hell am I missing the 1 pick thing? Where's that from? So he got 1 pick last year.
Yeah, when I saw you were saying that, I was like, you know what? You're just looking at a this year's stat or whatever, because it's not like you or I. We're not statisticians. We don't accumulate stats.
But it was bothering me. I'm like, he's got more than 1 career interception. All right, yeah. So I mean, Baldy loves ball. He loves loves guys that know how to play really well. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he can do.
Seriously. Now let's talk about this for a second, though. We kind of mentioned it before we get into the mock. Here is the Niner depth chart. Let me close the ad. And here's the defensive secondary, right? So right now, Coach, you got Renardo Green. And then we're just looking at corners. Demo Lenor. And Lenor's 26, 27. He's what I would call the super prime, right? Upton Stout, year 2, and he's really working hard. So you got 3 pretty good corners. Now, I know Renardo might be a loner, but I don't think Renardo's a bad player. I just think that he may not fit in. But then you got Luter, who's always been a very talented player, though he's never really fulfilled expectations. And he's been on scholarship where they've just carried him despite his struggles, and I think that ends this year. So then you also have Jack Jones now. You picked up Nate Hobbs. You have Saron Neal. You have Eli Apple, Trey Tomlinson. The other guy that I think has to be mentioned here is Jacob Robinson, who wore 49 for the Niners in camp last year. The BYU kid, I interviewed him a couple times during the season. He absolutely is confident and believes he's going to be a major player for this team going forward. So, I mean, just count Green, Lenor, Stout, that's 3, Luter, Jack Jones, Nate Hobbs, that's 6, Eli Apple, Jacob Robinson, Saron Neal, and Trey Tomlinson. That's 11. I mean, that's a lot of corners there. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, so it's 10. They got 10 corners. Coach, I think unless they're going to trade Ronaldo, and we've been told that they're not, but unless they are, as much as I love, D'Angelo Pons, I love Keontae Scott. There's some corners, but you know what? As far as just corner, I think with this move, unless Ronaldo's going to be traded, or even if he is, they're pretty fortified at corner. I would say that corner, you could take corner off their list of needs. Just a lot of guys there.
As far as guys are concerned, we have enough, right? So I'll concede that. I don't know about Darrell Luter Jr., man.
Yeah, I don't think they do either. I think they're.
We've been trying so hard to ascend and develop him and be patient with him finally getting on the field. He just seems to not put it together, man. He is, I think the word is out on him that he is a perennial backup in the league. And really quietly, I know that he's been developing and been trying his best to find inroads on the team as far as consistency, like a real role for the team. But he may be our secondary's DFF, Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles. He may be just the safe pick guy that we use in special teams that will get on the field in a pinch. Darrell Luter Jr. isn't even slotted to come in during packages, right? So he truly is a backup. I don't see anything. I don't really see any type of movement with Eli Apple either. I'm not an Eli Apple fan. So this is one thing that I want to talk about. I'm going to spit something out. You throw it back to me, okay? The Niners have a floor issue, in my opinion, where just because we have guys in the spot doesn't mean that the position is filled. Does that make sense? Like,
yes,
if we have guys,
what I would describe it as, they have the roster filled out, but they lack great players.
Yes, we don't have the right guys in those spots. So when you say the Niners have 10 corners, we don't need a corner. I understand that from a numbers perspective, from a quantitative standpoint. But from a qualitative standpoint, the quality of those 10 corners, would you say that we need more corners or not?
Well, yeah. I mean, I just think when I'm looking at a roster that's full of other needs.
So it's not a priority.
I just think that, just as I think Luter has been almost drafted off the team. I mean, I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to, put that on him or say that definitively because it's not definitive. But here's who's going to make the team: Renardo Green right now. Renardo Green, Diamador Lenor, Upton Stout, Nate Hobbs, Jack Jones. And that's 5 right there. Now, your 6th guy is going to be Saron Neal because he is your special team standout. So that's corner 6. And there's not going to be a 7th corner. But if there is, it's probably going to be a battle between the veteran Eli Apple and the youngsters, Darrell Luter Jr. and Jacob Robinson. And I'll say this right now. I think Robinson gets that gig. I really do. I think they will find a way to keep Jacob Robinson, and I think Luter might be on the outside looking in. But either way, and I'm a Luter fan. I like Luter. I've interviewed him a bunch. He's mature. He's married. He has a kid.
Yeah, I mean,
he's got
as
the
a guy,
perfect
you
body
love him.
for the ball. But he's just, it's close but no cigar. He's always right there, but the completion gets made. It's like, sometimes you just go, hey, you know what? I don't know about player X, but he's a playmaker. It's like Darrell Luter's the opposite of that. It's like he's not a playmaker. He's near the play, but he doesn't make the play. He's made very few plays in his career. Yeah. But he is a bit.
Marquis Siegel has that issue.
Yeah, but if you cut him at 6'2" and change with 34-inch arms, he's going to get a look.
Get snatched up.
There's no doubt. And not only that, he's going to make somebody's team because he's too big, too fast, too rangy. So you got to, and he's talented. So you better decide before this is why I like Raheem Morris being here, because the Niners invested a 2nd-round pick in Green. They invested a fifth-round pick in Luter. They invested a fifth-round pick in Siegel. They invested a fifth-round pick in Demo. They invested a fourth-round pick in Mustafa. They invested a third-round pick in Stout. They have a lot, third-round pick in Jair Brown. They have a lot of, draft capital invested in that secondary. Now here comes Raheem Morris, who's thought to be really, really good at developing a secondary. And if they can get some more rush up front, which is a secondary's friend, I think I want to see. I'll just say this. I'll forget about the past and just defer to Raheem. If Raheem looks at Luter and says, no, I can't use him, then it's time to move on. But if Raheem says, you know what, I think he's talented, I think I can coach him up, then I want to see what Raheem can do for all these young DBs before we start, casting him aside.
You know what's funny is that this would be part 2 of this happening, but the last guy didn't stay around long enough, and that was Coach Wilkes. Coach Wilkes had a very positive impact on our secondary while he was here. Now, we already understand the whole story and scapegoat. We get that. But what the man actually does is develop secondary. And there were guys on our team that actually were having some of their better years in their careers, like a Travarius Ward had a great year with Coach Wilkes. We also got Jair Brown came out and actually was some of his best football that he ever played when Coach Wilkes was coaching him up. So there is Weeks, who's in here now, Coach Weeks. I think that's his name. The coach that just came from Atlanta that we just hired. He's our assistant defensive coordinator here, works with the DBs as well. That's the new coach that they brought in here. I think it's Gray or
Ray. Is it Ray Brown? Is it?
No. It's not Ray Brown. It's like his name is. I think it's something with not Wilkes, but
I'll look it up.
Weeks. Yeah. Anyway, I'm horrible with this guy's name, but anyway. Them bringing these guys in to repurpose what we have in our secondary is a huge deal. Like you already talked about, we have spent a ton of draft capital at the position trying to bring in guys to actually help us out. Even at our best, we've always been looking for that secondary to help us get over the hump. When we were really good with our front seven and we can go get the quarterback, we had to bring in Uncle Sherm. We all know what the story about trying to keep Verrett healthy and him eventually having to retire. So, Gray, thank you, Coach Gray. Them elevating.
Jerry Gray.
Yep. Them elevating.
He was a great player.
He was a great player. I think he's an even better coach. Them elevating Diamador Lenor to that spot. Let me ask you this: is Diamador Lenor a number 1 corner?
No, I don't have any problem answering that definitively. No, I don't. I don't believe he is.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I know that's sacrilege around here. People don't want to hear that, but Diamador Lenor is a very high-end number 2, in my opinion, right? He's not a boundary number 1, see the best receiver on your team every game, week in, week out. He's not that guy, right? I wish they would let him travel so we can start to see more out of Diamador Lenor instead of just sticking him over there. But you're right. These guys they've been kind of rubber stamping guys, ceremoniously giving guys money that really don't deserve it. I don't think Diamador Lenor is a number 1 corner, but they're trying again to bring in the development to see if they can get something out of their secondary, because Lord knows they've invested. So we could see what they got to do.
Couple things before we get into the mock, I want to get your thoughts on. One of the hot rumors, and I don't know if I believe it, and this is why I think it's a great topic. But Matt Barrows, who I think is pretty dialed in, coach. I mean, it's like hard to know, right? It's hard to know, right? Who's got what source and who's, I've said things that I've been totally right on. I've said things that I'm totally wrong on. And I'm the same source both times. So I'm not saying that Matt's always right, but he had a nugget the other day saying that the 49ers, according to the intel that he's gathering, are doing a lot of sniffing around on Arkansas running back Mike Washington. And This.
No, I love you some Mike Washington.
Okay, well, before we get your thoughts on it, I do want to share the the Todd McShay video, because McShay did a great video on Mike Washington, and I think it's like almost like I feel like we should hear this and then react. So here it is.
Let's do it.
Here is, you can see it, right? You can see that on the screen. I'll see if I can grow this here in a sec. Let me see if this. I'm using the McShay Show short. So this is a short off YouTube. But here it is. Here he is, Todd McShay with his podcast partner, and I don't know his name. I apologize. But they're discussing
his guy,
Mike Washington. Here it is.
Mike Washington had a workout equivalent to that of like a top 15 pick at the running back position. That's not often. Mike Washington from Arkansas, who we told you, really good tape, catches the ball, power back, all those things that you look for in the NFL, came to the Senior Bowl and stood out as probably the best running back there in totality. Mike Washington, 6'1", he's 223 pounds. I just told you the numbers of Jadarian Price, who was the talk of the town in Indy today. He had a 39-inch vertical. He's bigger. He's 2 inches taller. He's 20 pounds heavier. And he had 4 more inches on his vertical. He had 4 more inches on his broad jump. They were both second best. He ran a 1.51. I told you Jadarian ran a 1.61. He ran a 1.51. It was the best of any running back in this class this year. Elite, man. Take that with the WAJ, the weight adjusted number, at 1.51. He ran a 4.33. Also best. How does that not solidify him at least as a day 2 pick? Mike Washington had a workout equivalent to that of like.
What do you think, Coach? Let's talk about Mike Washington for a second, and let's just talk about running back. Niner fans, you know, I mean, come on. We both talked to lots and lots of Niner fans. It's kind of an ongoing joke. Oh, no, they're going to take a running back early again. Joe Williams, Trey Sermon, Ty Davis Price, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not saying those people are wrong. Those people are right, right? Kyle Shanahan and all of the Niner people, whether they be the media yes men or the people around them, their media partners, if you said any criticism at all of CMC, you're a hater that doesn't know ball. You don't know ball. CMC, he hasn't lost a step. You think CMC has lost a step? What do you know? You football rube, you. All right, well, that was funny. That was like December. And now here we are a few months later, and Kyle Shanahan's singing a totally different tune. We need to get help. We need to get guys. We can't, subject Christian to 400-plus touches. Gee, who had that idea? That was me saying to Kyle last year, hey, Kyle, do you think 400-plus touches is sustainable? He's like, hey, no. This is our guy. We use him out of the backfield. We throw it to him as a safety valve. There's no determining how many touches he's going to get. And now this Mike Washington rumor. And if this is legit, Coach, this is a guy who's going to go in the second round. He might go in the third round, but he's probably going to be there at 58. Would you be okay with the Niners selecting Mike Washington, the running back at Arkansas, at 58?
At 58? Not at 58. That's too rich.
What round? What round would you feel comfortable going with Washington?
First, 4th round pick. He's not going to be there. They would have to trade back and get into the 3rd to hopefully get him. I don't think he'd be a 2nd round pick. That's a little too rich. There's a possibility, though, because he's just so goddamn impactful. I mean, the kid is electric. And this year's running back class is kind of weak. It's not that
Very
good.
weak.
Yeah, it's weak, man. So, yeah, somebody could reach for him. If it would take the 2nd round to go get him, I'm of the mindset that if he has to go in the 2nd round, he's going to go earlier than 58 anyway. So
here's a mock where I took him 58.
Mm-hmm.
Just to see what it looked like,
Jalen Farmer lasted past him.
He lasted to the 4th round.
Wow.
I know. We can talk about that in a second.
That's sick. All
right.
I
mean, Mike Washington, I'll say this about Mike Washington. He fumbled 10 times in his career.
There it is.
Shanahan doesn't like that. But Coach is totally right. It's a very thin running back group.
It's horrible.
And yet the Niners, in a very thin year for running backs, are saying that they want to get somebody in addition to CMC, Jordan James, Garendo, Patrick Taylor. I'll say this about the Niners. The run game's a big part of what they do. So if they find that they have a running back that they think's a star, I mean, this guy's 4.33. He's one of the first players that I mocked in any of the mocks that I did earlier this year because I loved him early in the year. I saw him early, and I thought, wow, look at this guy. And I didn't realize he had transferred, that he had played at New Mexico, that he had played at Wazoo or someplace. He transferred twice. But, I mean, this guy is a slasher with speed and talent. And I think, even though they defended Christian to the death last year, I think if they go Mike Washington in the second round, it's almost like an admission that, you know what, you guys were all right. Christian has lost a step. We do need to balance it out. We need to give his touches. We need to step off, take our foot off the gas pedal on all these touches and get another great player in here. So that will be, to me, this is one of the wild cards of the draft. Do the Niners look for a great running back, whether it be Jadarian Price or this guy on day 2?
Yeah, so Christian is getting used like that because he's getting paid like that. Let's just kind of level set. Christian McCaffrey did the same thing that Trent did, that all these dudes do. He asked for a raise when his money was out, and he held out. People don't want to admit that. Christian McCaffrey held out in 2024. That was a real thing. We went to the Super Bowl, we lost, and then he ran out of guaranteed money, and he went to the Niners and said, I'm not coming in here until you give me more guaranteed money. And he was already the highest paid running back in the NFL when he did this. All right. So they gave him more money as a wedding gift, went to his wedding and everything for it, gave him his money. And then he came back and was out for the whole year. So part of the reason why Christian McCaffrey is getting used the way he is because he needs to make up for this money that he's making. This guy is making tons of money. So you damn right we're going to run you into the ground because that's how you're getting paid. So for me, not admitting that Christian needs help, I kind of feel like that was them looking at you, if I'm Kyle, in a press conference, like, shut the hell up, Jed is listening. like, dude, of course I'm running them into the ground, Larry. We all see that. But they're going to gaslight and act as if, we don't know. But as soon as the money, now we're 2 years removed from that guaranteed money. Now what happens after the season? Christian, it shocked me, but Christian himself even came out and was like, listen, I don't have a problem with anybody coming in to help me out. Like, I'll move to the side. I'm all about hearing the team win. That is basically them saying that it's time for me to get some help, guys. I did you a solid. I came for money, for guaranteed money in the middle of my deal. You gave it to me. I gave you 2 hard seasons with that money. Now you got to bring somebody else in here. You can't depend on me to carry the entire offense for the price tag. So that's what it is. He's finally coming down off that price tag, and we can finally use him like a regular back. But before him getting overused and all of this stuff, I just wanted to put that out there because he gets like a lot of like Passion of the Christ energy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Christian is carrying the cross for us. He's carrying that old rugged cross for the team. Christian is getting paid very well. And when you get paid like that on our team, you damn right I'm going to run your ass into the ground. You damn right. So I just had to get that out because it just... Go ahead, Larry.
No, I was going to say, this is an angle to watch in the draft for sure. Do the Niners go with the running back, and do they go with Washington or Price or one of these guys early? I think, now you're seeing them take some of these other positions off the board with the addition of Jack Jones. Maybe corner's not a need, and you never know. They may view running back as a significant need. We're going to speed through the rest of this. It's time for our prize picks lineup. We'll jump into our Prize Picks lineup for today. Prize Picks is America's #1 sports picks app, and the reason I like it, it is simple. You're just picking more or less on player stats or even game outcomes, building your lineup, and then you're in. No complicated stuff, just what you think is going to happen. Use code HMA. Play $5, get $50 in lineups instantly. Link is in the description. All right, let's get into it. We will share the screen. We'll move Coach and I to the corner. We will share the screen with our Prize Picks. There we go. Got that. And I think we're good to go. Oh, no, we got to put the right format in over here. We'll do that as well. And then we will get this thing rolling. All right. Where is our format? Here it is. Oh, there we go. What? There we go. Okay, so here we go. And this is what we're going to do here. We're going to look into the futures market on the Prize Picks. What do you think of Brock Purdy in the upcoming year? 25.5 season-long passing touchdowns, more or less, Coach?
25 or 29?
25.5. So 26 takes you
I'd
over.
say more. More.
Okay, more. Oh, wait, let me go to that. Get off this page. I got to operate it on this page. So I'll go to the Prize Picks page, and we'll go more on Brock Purdy, 25.5 touchdown passes. All right, now let's go down to Mike Evans. What do you think? 6.5 receiving touchdowns, more or less?
More.
More, okay. I like that as well. Now we will take the SF out because they have to have somebody from another team. So now we're going to go futures on one of these other guys. Who do you want to take a futures angle on? Myles Garrett, Puka Nacua, JSN, Caleb Williams, Genty, Dak Prescott, Bijan, basically all the best players in the league. Is there anybody that you feel that's taking a dive or step back or step forward? You got Sam Darnold.
I would go Sam Darnold.
Okay, 3,675.5 season-long passing yards, more or less?
Less.
Okay, I agree. Less for Sam Darnold. And, okay, so we will submit our lineup. And it's just really as simple as that. It takes like 30 seconds. Boom, boom, boom. Lineup successfully submitted. We'll view our lineup. So now we have Brock Purdy, 2026 regular season. He has to have 26 touchdowns. Mike Evans has got to have 7 receiving touchdowns. I think those are both very, very possible. And Darnold's going to have 3,675 passing yards or less. If all 3 of those things happen, we are a winner right there. And we will get $3. Our $12 makes us $66. So there you go. I really, really like that. Good luck. Thanks to Prize Picks for being a proud sponsor of the Krueger Show. We love Prize Picks. Great sponsor to the Krueger Show. Couple other thoughts before we get into our mock, and we're going to go speed round on the mock. We're going to do a little something different here. Thank you, Novato Chevrolet, family-owned dealership for over 50 years, Bay Area EV headquarters. Friendly staff, great people. Go see David Corral. Get yourself a Chevrolet. I will only buy my Chevrolet from Novato Chevrolet. And go dine and float on the Sacramento River. Alamar Marina. Check them out. 5999 Garden Highway, open Wednesday through Sunday. Their website is alamarmarina.net. Voted Sacramento's best specialty cocktails. Open for breakfast, for lunch. Awesome spot. You can float on the Sacramento River as you dine. It's hard to beat that. Thank you to Alamar. And also, thank you, Sharp Corner, Sports Cards and Collectibles, 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove, California, along the Monterey Peninsula. The great Anthony Catania's 831-521-5264, or you can find them on the gram, Sharp Corners 831 on the gram. All right.
All right. So it looks like Larry is gone. I'm about to say, I'll take over the show if you want me to. I'll rock it.
I just ejected myself from the show.
Okay.
Right, so
because I was about to get into it.
Before we get into the mock, we're going to do something in the mock that's different. But first thing, this one guy on X put out this: if you could give one piece of advice to Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch right now, before the draft, and they have to act upon it, what are you telling them, Coach? And
do not draft a receiver in the first 2 rounds of the draft.
Okay.
Do not draft a receiver in the first or the second round. Do not use those picks on a receiver, please.
You just feel the need's better elsewhere.
Yeah, like there's no receiver, in my opinion, that is going to A, get on the field, okay? B, help us immediately, and C, have the value there at 27 or 58 without us kicking ourselves on another option that was much better. So just stay away from receiver in the first 2 picks. Please don't touch it.
My advice would be trade back, add more picks, choose best player available over need, and pick great people who are also great players. Look for clones of Upton Stout, guys who are smart and strong and fast and tough, and look for competitors like Juwan Jennings. And to me, if you do those things, trade back, get a few more picks, don't go need, go with best player available, and try to hit home runs. Try to find great players who are also great people. Because when you find that, then you find Hall of Famers and all Pro Bowlers and so on and so forth. Okay, let's jump to our mock. The difference in the mock.
Let's do this.
This is how we're going to do this. We're going to go speed on this. This year, I don't know if you saw this, Coach, but they have increased the speed of the first round picks. They used back in the day, you had a half hour. Then I don't know if you knew this. Back in
15 minutes
in the 60s when they started this draft.
Got
the draft goes back to the 30s. Actually, the draft goes back to the 30s. But in the 60s, you had as much time as you wanted. The Cowboys in the 64 draft were on the clock for 5 hours because they sent a doctor to go check on Mel Renfro's the status of his knee. The doctor was driving to go see Mel Renfro and then had to call the Cowboys. All the while they're waiting. The 64 draft first round took like 15 hours.
What?
First round. It went on and on. There was no time limit. You picked whenever you were ready. Whenever you were ready to pick. Yes.
Just whenever you're ready.
Yes. Now,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Now in 2026, the NFL's like, speed it fucking up. We want this thing done by 8 o'clock.
Now isn't it down to 8 minutes now, the first round?
It's 8 minutes. So what we're going to do to kind of reflect that is I'm going to go fast. We're going to enter the draft, and then you're going to have to get through this draft. You're only going to have basically you're going to have to make your picks as fast as possible because we'll give 4 minutes. 4 minutes.
Round robin. Okay.
4 minutes for each pick to get through it. But hopefully let's see if we can go speed round because what I'm trying to replicate here is you don't have forever to deliberate. It's just now. So Coach is going to go. He's going to do his mock. I'm going to do mine, and then we are going to bolt for the door after we read the super. So here is the first one. Coach is going to go first. We'll share the screen.
Okay.
And I will share the screen and put this up there. We're going to go with the PFSN mock, and there it is. 7 rounds, fast speed. Click the Niners. Let's get rid of the pop-ups, and away we go. Enter the solo draft. Fernando Mendoza goes number 1, and the Niners are up at 27. And you can do anything you want, including trading back, picking whomever, doing whatever. You've got a trade offer here. If you want to move back 4 spots, you can do that. And here's the board right here. This is who's left. And tell me if you want me to go for a certain position, if you don't see what you're looking for.
All right. So
I've already told you my plan is to trade back, but go ahead.
Your plan is to trade back? Oh no, well, I'm not trading back. We're just doing straight up, right?
Yeah. Or you can do whatever you want. You can do anything you want.
Go edge.
Edge. Gotcha. Gabe Yakis, Malachi Lawrence, Cassius Howell, R. Mason Thomas, Joshua Josephs, Dennis Sutton.
Danny Dennis Sutton.
Yeah, Derek Moore, Romello Height, LT
All right,
Overton.
yeah, let's go Malachi Lawrence.
Malachi Lawrence in round 1. All right, now you're up on round 2. It's pick number 58. You have 2 trade offers. You can move back. See, now this is hard to pass up. You can move back 2 spots and get an extra pick from the Bears.
And get an extra pick. Is that 129 in the 3rd round?
What's that?
Is that 129 in the 3rd round? Pick 129?
4th round.
Okay. So pick up a 5th, 4th round pick?
Yeah. Which I would absolutely do this.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I want to take that.
Okay, so now you're picking a here. You got another one you can move back for a pick in next year's draft?
Hell no.
Okay. So now you're looking at your board. Cassius Howell, by the way, just went. And the last 4 picks.
Nuts.
Look at that. Those last 4 picks, pretty good, damn good.
Yeah, so let's go.
We'll go all, first of all. Take a look at who's on the board.
Jeremy Bernard, Oscar Delp is right there.
There's Mike Washington. If you want.
There goes Mike Washington. God, I don't know, man.
It's really tough. There's Kilgore.
Okay.
I really like Kilgore. He's 81 on this list.
Let's go free safety.
It doesn't split him free and strong, just safety. But
there goes our boy. Pick him up. Jalen Kilgore.
Kilgore. Love Kilgore. Yeah. Jalen Kilgore, I think, is a lot like Nick Emanwari. And whether you play him at corner, linebacker, or safety, you're going to be able to play. He's going to play. He's going to play. All right, you're at pick 127. We'll go back to all. See if we can get
127. Let's go guard. Let's go interior offensive line.
Offensive guard. Bo Stevens, Jaden Roberts, Jeremiah Wright.
Jaden Roberts is still there from Alabama?
Yep, he's right there, Jaden Roberts.
All right, go to running back. Mike's gone.
Nick Singleton.
I like Nick Singleton. He's fast.
Jam
but
Miller.
He ain't Mike Washington.
Le'Veon Moss. Yeah, he's not Mike
Le'Veon
Washington.
Moss is still there, too.
Yeah, there's some good
Mike's
backs.
gone.
Jamal Haynes. I really like Jamal Haynes. But Mike Washington is gone.
Okay, so we went edge. We went safety. We don't have a tight end. Go to tight end.
Tight end. Okay, so you have Dallin Bentley. You have Sam Roush. You have Endries, was at the local pro day.
Endries is already at the local pro day.
Yeah, he's went to start at Cal, finished at Texas.
But there's so much value there to that I don't want to pick. We're picking literally 2 picks. I want to get somebody who I know is not going to be there. Picking up a tight end with going with another pick right away isn't really writing home.
What other positions you want to look at?
Interior D-line. We need another nose. CJ West and Alfred Collins is all we really got.
So you got Renee Conga, who's a great workout guy for Louisville. You have Chris McClellan, who's one of my favorite guys. You got a sawed-off Landon Robinson from Navy. You have Nick Barrett, who's really, really strong. You have Zane Durant, who's really, really fast. You got Corleone down here. Capehart tested very well. Kind of a
Let's go DeMonte Capehart.
Okay, Capehart there. So now you're up at 129. You're up again.
All right, so we got our interior guy. We got our edge. We got our safety. Now let's go O-line. Go get our O-lineman.
Guard, tackle.
Yep. Guard.
There's Bo Stevens. There's Jaden Roberts. There's Jeremiah Wright. Some interesting players.
I'm trying to go as fast as possible.
Micah Morris. There you go, right down there.
Yeah, but that's way too low. Go back up. Go to available. What's in available? Like all.
All is Renee Conga, who's a real workout guy for Louisville. You've got Kyle Lewis, the linebacker from Pitt. McClellan's there still. Malachi Fields. Devon Marshall's a good corner from NC State. Kevin Coleman, very fast receiver. J.C. Davis, a tackle. Stevens is the guard. Deion Burks, very fast.
Let's go Bo Stevens.
Bo Stevens.
Go get the guard.
Where was he there? Was he there? Let me see.
Yeah. Go offense, go guard.
Okay,
Right
Bo
there.
Stevens. Now you're up at 133, and you have another offer from the Cardinals. You can move back 10 spots for one more pick. If you stay with it, you got 3 more picks right now. If you make this trade, you'd have 4 more picks. Right now you're on pace for 7 total picks.
Let's make the trade.
Okay, make the trade. Now you're at 1. Let's see. Why is it? Did it not make the trade?
It made it. It added another pick. I saw it.
Oh, it did. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're up now at 138. We'll go to all.
Now we're at 138. We can be a little greedy now.
Yeah. Is there a certain position you're looking for? Or you said you
go get J.C. Davis. Nope.
Who do you want?
We need a tight end. I keep forgetting that. Let's go tight end.
Let's go tight end. Tight end list.
Roosh is there.
You have Bentley, Joe Royer, Sam Roush, Daquan Wright, Hibner, Endries, Bo Kircher, Marlon Klein, Koziol. Kak Merrick was considered the best blocker in the group. There's the guy from Bama who's strong. He lives with the offensive lineman Cuevas.
Yeah, I'm not a big Cuevas guy.
Yeah.
Go back up to the top at tight ends, please.
Dallin Bentley is the top tight end.
Have you seen him?
I'm not a Dallin Bentley fan.
Me neither.
I like this group. I like Royer and Roush, probably the best. But I think there's probably better prospects at other spots than tight end. But that's the thing.
Let's go Roush though, because we need a tight end.
No doubt.
I like Roush.
Got to have and Roush can block. So now you're picking back to back, actually. So you're up right now again with the exact same people on the board.
Okay, let's go receiver.
And you can go
Deshaun Stribling.
You like Stribling?
Yep.
Okay, you got Deshaun Stribling. Now you're up at pick 143, and you got 2 picks. 143 and 183 left.
So we got a tight end, a guard, and a receiver. We got a D tackle, a safety, and an edge. So we're even.
Edge, safety, D tackle, guard, wide receiver,
tight end. All right.
You could still get Dick Singleton if you want him. He's there.
He's right there. I know. But I don't want to go back yet. Let's go with need. So we got ourselves a safety. We got ourselves an edge. We got ourselves a shade because we need another interior D lineman. One position that we've been staying away from all offseason that nobody's really talking about, linebacker.
Okay.
Nobody's ever talked about linebacker and us needing anything. I understand that we got Dre Greenlaw and Fred's coming back and we got D Winners, but I don't know, man. Linebackers.
It's tough.
It is.
I like some of the sleepers at linebacker.
But I don't like anybody to get drafted.
I like this kid, Eric Hunter, quite a bit.
Where's E40? My boy E40 from
him.
Morgan State.
Yeah, there he is.
Eric Hunter, yeah.
Eric Hunter. See, he's listed at pick as prospect number 641. So he's
disgusting.
He's going to be an undrafted player. I'll tell you the linebacker that I stumbled on yesterday there's 2 linebackers that I stumbled on yesterday that I love. One guy is named Micah Thurman, and he plays for West Georgia. Okay. Now, Georgia State, West Georgia, the state of Georgia is like sleeper capital of the world. And this guy is 6 feet, 230 pounds, ran 4.52, had 23 reps at 225, and his film is great. His name's Micah Thurman. I don't even think he's on this list. The other guy that I really, really like, there's a linebacker who started at Akron, who transferred this year to Oak State, named Brian McCoy. And McCoy ran slow for the stopwatch, like in the 4.8s, like really slow at 6 feet, 225. But he's a Chicago kid, right? And at Akron in 2024, all conference first team MAC, 120 tackles. The year before, all conference first team, 95 tackles. He comes to Oak State this year. He made 71 tackles and a forced fumble. He was second on the team. The guy can bench 500 pounds. The guy has had 311 tackles in his 4 years in college. Those are like Aziz Al-Shair numbers. He's an efficient tackler. He misses like no tackles. And then I saw this interview he did where he's like, faith is important to him, and he's a good character guy. He's very strong, 22 reps at 225. He's a wrestler. He was an all-state wrestler. And I really like this player, man. Now, he runs too slow to draft, but he's too damn productive to not go sign as an undrafted free agent. Brian McCoy.
Let's let's look at another edge.
Okay.
We need to go.
Now, this is interesting, too. You got some interesting edges here. You got LT
Deshaun Barham's Kieran Crawford. Let's go.
Kieran Crawford is one of my favorite guys.
Let's go.
Kieran Crawford. That's a great
We got Malachi Lawrence and Kieran Crawford in the same draft, bruh.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And you've got one more pick here. And they're offering you another trade. You can go from 183 and trade your 7th next year to move back 4 spots and get one more pick this year. Do you want to do that, or do you want to stay with 183? I mean,
let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yahtzee. Let's play. Let her play, baby. I'm feeling lucky. Let's go.
All right. So now you got 2 picks.
All right.
So you got 187. We'll go back to all.
Okay.
And so Markel Bell is right there.
Bell, that's not. I don't even want to do that. That's not even realistic.
He's just a monster guy as far as huge guy.
Trey Zune.
Trey Zune's a center. Might be able to start. You like that? Okay.
Trey Zune.
Converted tackle. So now you're up with your last pick, and this has been a really good mock, by the way. 223. And what do you want to look at here? You want to look at all? Cac Merrick, the Ohio State blocking tight end, is there. Do you have a tight end? No, you have a tight end.
James Brockermeyer's there.
Jeff Caldwell, the receiver, is there, who runs in the 4-3.
That big kid, yeah. No, but we already have Deshaun Stribling.
Right, and you may not, and really, realistically, I don't know if the Niners can add more than one receiver. You have Tyreek Sapp, who was the heart and soul of Florida's D-line, but you know what? He's kind of short-armed.
Yeah.
You know?
So let's go. We either need, now we can be selfish.
Yeah, now you just go for anybody you love.
We either need a tackle or we need a running back. So let's go to tackle. Let's go to running back.
Okay, at tackle, you have Emil Wagner, who I really like. You have Alan Herron from Maryland, who's a big body. You have Rucci,
big guy,
who I believe his brother is Hayden Rucci, the Niners tight end.
Yeah, Alan Herron is good.
Yeah, Herron is a big kid. Chris Adams from Memphis.
From Memphis is a big kid,
just
too.
A ridiculous monster. Now, this is not right. They listed
he is not 277. No,
he might be 377.
Yeah.
He's huge. He's absolutely huge. That guy's 350 pounds. So you got him.
Let's go Herron from Maryland.
You want Herron from Maryland. Okay. Alan Herron. That's a good one.
So we got ourselves a tackle. Let's go running back now.
Okay, so now you're at the last. No, that was it. That was your last pick. That was
my last pick? All right, bet.
So there you go. So there's your mock for coach. Now you've got Malachi Lawrence in round 1. You got the edge rusher flying off the edge. You got Kilgore, that specialty piece in the secondary, who might be able to help you in a bunch of spots. You got Capehart, gives you that big body on the defensive line. Then you got you've got a future starter at center or guard, or maybe your starter at left guard in Bo Stevens. You got a tight end that's ready to contribute right away, 2-way player and blocker and receiver. Deshaun Stribling is a viable receiver to get one of those.
We got a lot of size and speed, and he plays slot.
Where this draft really kicks ass is the last 3. Kieran Crawford at 143.
Come on!
I think he's your starting defensive end on passing downs. I think you'll see Crawford outside and McKell inside on key downs. Zune, I think, is the future at center, and Herron might be your future at right tackle. Or maybe even guard.
Dude, I'm cooking. We're still getting players at the end of the draft that can play. That's my problem.
Yeah,
that's what I like.
That's a good draft. So that's 9. Okay, and we should take note, too. That's 9 picks, okay? So I kind of feel like if you're going to fill your needs, you need at least 8 picks. You know, I would say you got to have at least 8. Maybe 10, but 8 for sure. And the Niners have 6. So, okay, so there's coaches.
And if you've noticed what I've done, heavy trenches.
Yes.
heavy. We are not a physical team anymore. We're not, bro. And if you didn't see that against Seattle, then you're blind. We need to get physical again. We need trenches.
No doubt. Like if Lynch and Shanahan were sitting here right now, and they might as well be sitting here right now, Coach, because they watch this stuff. Even though people say, don't fool yourself. They don't, no, they watch.
They watch.
I've been told they watch.
Yeah.
And from people who know them. So all I would say on that front is you're not beating Seattle if you cannot move Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy. So we can talk about all these other things all day and every day. You need more receivers. You need better running game. You need a better this. You need a better that. You're not beating Seattle if you cannot move Byron Murphy and Leonard Williams. Their ends, DeMarcus Lawrence, whatever. But if you're not moving those two big boys in the middle, everything is predicated off that. The Seattle goes light box, and they dare you to run the ball. Dare you to run it. But then they got those two big boys, and the Niners have not been able to run the ball. So I absolutely agree with you. You have to have guys who are going to uproot people. All right, so we'll stop sharing that. We'll move to my.
I want to see your draft, man.
I'm going to go speed here. Right. Well, here we go. NFL. Here we go. We got the simulator. We got the whole thing going here. Here we go. 7 rounds. We're going fast. We're going Niners. And we got to share the screen. And here it is. Okay. So here we go. And once again, I thought, and your speed on that was really good. So you didn't sit there and belabor it all day. You went through it and you just picked. Okay. So Niners enter draft. Here we go. All right. Let's see who's on the board. And this first question is always going to be tough, but I probably want to move back. I've already kind of my stated goal is I want to move back, but I got to always look at the board first. And it's very intriguing. Like a lot of these guys. Mesidor,
but you're moving back. You are for sure getting out of 27.
I'm for sure moving back because I want more picks, and I see plenty of guys that I like there. So let me go to my trade offers, and I have 2 trade offers. So I've got, so I can trade 27 and 127 and get back 3 spots and get Miami second next year. But then I'm trading now. I have 5 picks this year, so I'm not doing that. I'm gonna move back. This one I get to move back and not lose any picks. So I move back and I get a 3rd round pick in a better draft next year. Now I'm
back in the 3rd.
I'm going to counter. I'm going to counter, and I'm going to say I'm going to get selfish. I want that.
Dude, I didn't know you could counter.
Yeah, you can counter if you want. I don't know if it's going to work. It'll tell you if it's going to work or not. It looks like it may work. So I'm going to counter there and see if it gets it. No, they rejected it. Okay, so now I'm just going to go back, and I'm just going to take it. I'm just going to take their offer. So now I'm back at 29. All right, so now I've got another option. I can go 29 and a 7th for 42 and 73. I kind of like that. Got 29 and 139 for 52, 84, and next year's 2nd. I don't mind 52. Ooh. Or I can move to 35 and get pick 66. Let me see if I can counter this. I'll counter this.
That's freaking sweet, man.
I'll see if I can counter this. No, they're not going to say it. They're not going to do it. Oh, maybe they will. No, he rejected it. Okay, so he rejected my counter. So anyway, I'm gonna trade with the Titans. Robert Saleh wants to move up to 29. I'm gonna move back to 35. I don't even need to look at the board. I'm just gonna move back. Okay, so now I've moved back a couple times, which is about what I want. And I got the Chargers offering trade up. I don't love that. Ooh. But I do love that. 35 to 42. Now, are the players that I want within 7 picks? Let's take a look at the board. All right, so you got Mesidor, Denzel Boston. Don't love Denzel Boston. I do love C.J. Allen. I'm targeting, though, Chase Besantis right there or Chris Johnson. So Besantis is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks down. Ooh, that's a dice roll. And my option is to move back. I'm going to reject this one.
Larry, have you picked anybody yet?
Yeah, I picked. No, I haven't picked anybody yet. I haven't picked anybody. haven't taken anything yet. No, I'm still trading back.
Come on, man.
I'm still trading back.
I was like, go ahead.
I'm countering all these times, and they keep telling me no. Oh, I countered, and my trade was accepted. All right, so
Okay.
I moved back. Okay, so now I'm about where I want to be. Okay, I've moved back. I'm not going to make any more trades. I'm taking that off the board. Now I did I probably lost out on a player that I wanted because I kind of wanted Chase Basantis. Okay, but I'm going to look at the board and see it. I'm going to play. I want to go best player available. Okay, so I'm looking at all these guys, and I'm best player available. You know what? I don't love any of them. But once my next pick is 58, I think I'm going to go Cassius Howell here.
Okay.
I'm going to go Cassius Howell. I know it was a lot of trading.
You want to go with short Cassius?
Yeah, I'm okay with him with the short arms.
You don't care about the short arms?
To me, I think he's got a lot of greatness to him, and I'm okay with those short arms.
Okay.
I'm going to get more trade offers, but I'm going to reject. So now I'm at 58, and I've got all. Now, I've got Cassius Howell. You know what? I like Malachi Lawrence, but, he does have 2 shoulder surgeries. That bugs me. I love Keontae Scott, but he was kind of a one-year deal. He wasn't very good at Auburn. I like Oscar Delp, but he doesn't really have that much production. I like Caleb Banks, but he just doesn't. He's got a broken foot. Halsey's a really good player, but I'm going to go Mike Washington. I'm going to go Mike Washington at 58.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go Mike Washington. Now I'm up at 66. I'm going to say no to the trades. Let me see. I can move up. No, I'm not. I can move. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stay right where I'm at. So I'm at 66. And now I've got my edge and I've got my running back. And who's the best player available? Do I go Jeremy Bernard? Let's see. Let me take a look at the receiver board. I could go Jeremy Bernard. Brendan Thompson's super fast. If I want that speed, I can go Brendan Thompson or Zachariah Branch. They're all really fast. Jacoby Lane. Do we go tight end? There's Delp if I want Delp now. I don't need a running back. Let's see, offensive tackle, Crownover, Shelton. I do like Austin Barber quite a bit, but he's had a lot of penalties.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going right here. I really love this. I'm going back to back. I'm going Fabici Weewoo from Oklahoma at 66. To me, 6'4", 325 with 34.5-inch arms. I think he's going to be a very good center and a plug-and-play guard if I want to use him there. Now I'm at 73. I've got more options to trade back. But there's a guy that I'm looking for on the board. Oh, but he's going to be there. He's going to be there. So I'm going to take this pick. I'm going to take this trade. I'll move up for next year's draft capital. And I'll take this pick too because I've got a certain player in mind. So now I'm sitting here at 82. I'll hide that. You know who I'm going with? I'm going with, even though I just went with Fabici Weewoo, I'm going with Jalen Farmer. I want to build a bully. I'm a believer that if you're going to beat Seattle, you have to be able to block the interior, and you got to have real dudes. You can't do it with Brendel. You can't do it with Burford. You can't do it. You got to have real dudes. Jalen Farmer is the fastest guard in the entire draft, and he's super tough. He's had some off-field issues I'm not as concerned about. Fabici Weewoo was looked great as a center. If you put these guys as your center and left guard, I think your problems are solved with Seattle. So that's where I'm at right there. Okay, so now I'm at pick 138. Now I'm in the 4th round, and I've got pick 138. And I'll go to all. And what don't I have? I have an edge, and I've got a running back, and I've got 2 offensive linemen. I don't have a defensive lineman. I love this one, Caleb Proctor. So I'm taking Caleb Proctor from Southeast Louisiana. Now I'm up at 139, and Buffalo's offering 2 picks at 165 and 168. Damn right I'm doing that. Damn right.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
How many picks do you have so far?
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I've got 4 more left. So I'm gonna have 9, which is about where I want to be. About where I want to be. Okay, so now I want to go best player available the rest of the draft here, and let's see what's available. Really like Kieran Crawford. To me, he's a high energy guy. I'm going to move that out of the way. So, high energy. This guy plays very hard. He brings it off the edge. You got to have more than one edge. Now you got Crawford and Howell. Okay, so what else don't we have? We got edge. We got running back. We don't have a wide receiver. So let's take a look at wide receiver now. And your guy Stribling's there. Heidenreich is there. Josh Cameron is there. Jeff Caldwell's there, who runs really well. Caleb Douglas. What do you think of that? They just brought in Caleb Douglas for a workout.
I don't know about that look. Caleb Douglas. I also knew they brought in Wisniewski, the safety from there too.
Yes, I saw that. He's not a hitter. He's more of a cover guy.
Yeah. You know what else we didn't talk about? Not to kill your draft. We didn't talk about Cam Sample.
Yeah, we will definitely hit that before we get out.
Okay.
Let's see. Safety wise, there's Wisniewski. Gosh, I do love Miles Rouser, but he's a late pick. Don't really need corner. We kind of talked about that, but there's Dalen Everett. That's a pretty good pick. Linebacker, there's Red Murdoch. There's Betcher. Yeah, not Jaden Duggar might not be bad. Maybe I go inside. Oh, here's where the value. Okay, that's what I was going to say. I looked at the value of this draft, and there's always one position that's just ridiculous value. And coach, you know where it is this year? It's defensive tackle. Look at this. We're at pick 165.
And DeMonte's still there.
Nick Barrett, DeMonte Capehart, Anya Deem from A&M's a good player. Corleone.
Dante Corleone.
Devin Eastern from Minnesota's good.
Tim Keenan is still there.
Yeah, I mean, there's dudes. And then you get down here. There's
Xavier Harris.
I love the Thompson twins. I love James Thompson Jr. from Illinois. And then if you go further down here, I like Skylar Gill-Howard. But there's another Thompson, Ontario Thompson. But I like both those Thompson guys. So there's a lot of options.
There's a lot of D tackles in this year's draft.
I'm going to take Nick Barrett. He's enormously strong. Strong. I'm going to resist trading back, so we'll cancel that. And now we're still going for best player available. Let's see. I get the feeling that maybe running back might still have. See, Nick Singleton's still there, and to me, Nick Singleton and Jam Miller's still there. So you got some good backs that are still there. Receiver wise. I kind of like the receivers really, really late. Tight end, maybe, you know what? Here in this tight end thing, I'm going to go with the best blocking tight end. Once again, Seattle's daring you to run the ball. You got to be able to run it. You don't have Kittle. Let's get the best blocking tight end from Ohio State and see if we can run the ball. And now we have one more pick at 190. And it's just a matter of, who's the best player on the board. Let's take a look. Okay. Looking at this, I don't have a tight end yet, do I? No, I don't think I do. Oh yeah, I just took one. I just took a tight end. All right, so I'm looking for somebody that really jumped out to me in the whole pre-draft thing. You know what? I love Tyreek Sapp. Man, he's a really good edge. But I've already got 2 edges. Let me go to linebacker because I think there might be a linebacker I like here. Let's see. There's some late round linebackers that are pretty damn good. Let's see. Do I see any here? Eric Hunter. There he is right there. Really love Eric Hunter. Got the edge. Got the offense. Let's see. Maybe another running back. Sometimes running back is a good spot to just get late extra guys. Let's see. Running back. Wait, do we not have? We don't have a receiver. We don't have a receiver. So I'm gonna go my favorite receiver, late round receiver, even though he's
Law?
deep. No, I'm a big fan of this guy, Dylan Bell, for Georgia. I just think Dylan Bell is a really good player.
Yeah. He was underutilized there, too.
Yeah.
He really didn't get a lot of burn at UGA. That kid he's got some yak ability, too. That's a good pull, man.
So there we go. Here's mine. I'm going Cassius Howell in round 2 in a trade back. Then Mike Washington, the running back. Then I'm going offensive line heavy. Fabechi, Weewu, the center. Jalen Farmer, the guard. Then I'm going defensive line heavy. Caleb Proctor, Kieran Crawford, Nick
Got
Barrett.
2 edges in the detail.
I'm going blocking tight end in Kasmerick. And then I'm going receiver. And then I picked up the Rams' 3rd-round pick next year and the Buccaneers' 4th-round pick next year.
That's not bad. I'll say this: you doubled down on D tackle. I like that.
Well, there's no Kalia,
edge.
there's no Jordan Elliott.
Yeah, I think people are really not picking that up. Like, I think the trade of Odigizua coming over kind of made people not really look under the rug and see what's really going on with the D tackles. But if you look at what we have as far as interior defensive tackles, it's Alfred Collins, Osa Odigizua, CJ West, Sebastian Valdez, and Evan Anderson. That's it.
Right.
That's what we're going to war with on the interior of the defensive line. And Osa Odigizua, I mean, I love him. I'm glad that we got the pick, but he's not necessarily a force in stopping the run. Right, so it's really Alfred Collins and CJ West that we're leaning on.
I mean, I like these guys, but I mean, Collins, Odigizua, West, Valdez, Evan Anderson. Now, Evan Anderson's not much of a rusher. Valdez is a great rusher, but he's not much of a run defender. And they're more developmental, right? And it's like, I'm not giving them roster spots next year. I'm making them earn it. So in my mock, if they want to earn a spot, they're going to have to beat out Caleb Proctor and Nick Barrett. Now, Barrett's enormously strong. Proctor's enormously fast. Proctor's a rusher. Barrett's more of a run defender. They're more situational type players, but you can never have enough D-line. That's for sure. The Niners need some D-line. All right, let's do this. What did you think of? Actually, before we'll finish with Cam Sample. We'll first finish with this because we do have some supers. Here we go.
Okay.
We got this one from Too Much Sauce. Did you all have a better week than Diana Rossini? Wow. Yeah, Coach and I didn't. The one thing we didn't do is we didn't interlock fingers before. I'm telling you, seriously, if you want to say, hey, if this was me, I'm just thinking about if it were me, if I was Vrabel, okay, and I'm a married man with 4 kids, I can explain away we're in the pool at the same time. I can explain away we hugged briefly, for the in front of a camera. The interlocking fingers I can't explain.
Yeah, it's
you don't interlock fingers with women that you're unless you're 7, you don't interlock fingers with women unless you're romantically.
I'll say this. I showed it to my significant other,
right?
And I asked her opinion, and I said, "Babe, what you think?" And she said, "I said if that was me, what would you?" She said, "Oh hell no, your ass is grass. No, no way." She's like, "Way too close. I don't even understand why they're touching fingers, let alone hands. Like, it wasn't a good look." But I will say this in defense of Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel. It really looked like private investigation photos, right? Because they were taken from a very far distance.
Right.
And also, you have to ask yourself, because I myself, private investigator, like I've done it before. I went out and took the test and got the stuff. If you're a private investigator, if you're getting those type of pictures, which are suggestive, there has to be more. There has to be more. If that's the best that they got from not, you got to understand, they don't know they're being watched, right? So if he's watching with the camera, if the best he has is what we saw, then it's a big nothing burger. It's nothing. But if he could be, now you know what he really probably did. He probably sent over the pictures and was like, I need X amount before I release the rest. You know what I'm saying?
New York Post paid it.
Yeah, exactly. I'll pay you these not to see the rest. Do you want to play ball or not? So I don't know, man. It's interesting, but
I mean,
Diana
let's get beyond.
does break a lot of Mike Vrabel stories.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. It's like, okay, I got two thoughts on this. On one hand, I don't care. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not shocked, and I don't care. And you know, it doesn't make me feel less about Vrabel or Dina Rossini because I didn't think much of them to begin with. You know, it's like I'm not let down with people that I don't know that disappoint me. It's like, it's like that do things that are, not great. But beyond the marriage part, because that's obviously, it is what it is. And
it's a whole nother ball game.
That's a whole different deal. But that aside, Rob Parker came out yesterday and was like, Dina Rossini needs to be fired. This is a conflict.
I agree.
This is a conflict of interest.
It is.
And the bottom line is, it's so obviously a conflict of interest. The Patriots are one of these teams that might be after A.J. Brown. All it's going to take for the Patriots to get a better A.J. Brown deal is to have Dina Rossini reveal some story that the Eagles are unhappy with A.J. Brown. So, I mean, she's very much involved there. And it's like when you're covering and breaking stories on people that you're having relationships with, it's the optics are awful, but then also your credibility should be called into question. And then there's also the potential, wide open potential for manipulation, for obvious and blatant manipulation. And if
too, what hurts it, Larry, sorry for cutting in, but all of the other women in her profession that don't do this, that really do work hard. And not to say that Dina Rossini does not, but it's just a bad look for women in sports. It's a bad look. And that's the biggest thing that comes across for me is that, you just didn't help out your tribe with this one, Diana.
Should The Athletic fire her?
Yeah, they should fire her.
Wow. I mean, it sounds heavy, but at the same time, it's a obvious and blatant conflict of interest. And I don't know that there's any debating that, really. MGM production. I mean, go ahead. We can go on.
I look at it as simple as it is. It's a bad look, and your behavior around that type of energy is a red flag. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be a reporter and fraternize with people who are supposed to be giving you information. It can't be. We can't see that. And also, we understand that the first thing about being a journalist and being a reporter is your credibility. If nobody believes that you honestly get the information that you do, then you're pretty much dead in the water from doing your job. Nobody wants to hear from you. So that's why I am bullish on moving on from her, because I feel like she tainted the water. There's not going to be a lot of people that are going to forget this. And then now when Dina Rossini has to walk into New England with the Patriots and run a story, everybody's going to be rolling their eyes on how she got it.
She's compromised.
She's compromised. Exactly.
Every time there's a Patriot insider note, or anytime there's any note that comes out that in any way is a positive for the Patriots, her credibility is going to be called into question. And I think she's compromised. I think she's probably. I hate the fire this person, but if you're The Athletic, I think you got to really think about it.
Yeah, it's a big outfit too.
It's a big outfit. MGM Productions. Hey, Coach, can you shout me out with the 50-cent sound stab from your soundboard?
Oh, I don't think I have it anymore, man. I'll give you a little bit of Nas though.
Can we get a little NFL draft music? You were busting that out.
Oh, for sure, man. We're ready, baby.
Where did you get that, man? I gotta get that, man. I gotta have that one going, especially during the draft. We gotta
get it going, dude. Everybody knows that the coaches huddle is going to be so live for the live watch show party, man. It's going to be fun, man.
It's going to be amazing. Thomas Selman in the house. As people are acting like Brock is aging, I don't know why. You know, there's just a lot of people.
He is.
Who's not aging?
Yeah, exactly. He is.
There's a guy who does radio who talks about the Warriors all the time in the city, and every time he talks about the Warriors, like, they're getting older. It's like, hey, shrewd take,
Shrewd take.
They're getting older. All right, Riker Trav says, man, so glad you two are streaming together again. Yep, I'm as well, man. We're really fired up to be doing this stuff. Coach is the best, and the energy is awesome. Bill, and by the way, everybody, we got 1,000 people watching. Hit like and subscribe. If you're not already here, if you hit like and you hit subscribe and you click that notification bell, anytime we go live, you'll get that little ta-ding notification, and then you can not miss a minute. And then, of course, the more people hit like, the more people find the stream in the algorithm. So we got 1,000 people here. If every single person takes a second and just hits like, even if you don't hit subscribe, we'll have 2,000 people in here probably within the next 15 minutes. But Bill Wanger says, Larry is 6'3" with shoes. Coach is 6'5", 6'6". Y'all both got nukes, LOL. So Kittle gave us shoes last year, right? He ripped our shoes. I think he was looking at Grant's shoes, and he kind of looked at my. He said, you guys are wearing ratty shoes. And he ripped our shoes. And then somebody ripped him and said, oh, you're rich, and you're ripping all these media people. They're poor. So then Kittle was probably told, hey, man, you better do something. So then he bought us all shoes, right? He bought us all these Nike shoes.
Yeah.
And so I tried them on, and I'm like, damn, I feel taller, dude. I mean, I really do feel taller. And so I took them off. I put on my other shoes. I put a little line on the wall. I put the shoes on, put another line. Coach, it was like an inch and a half of height gained by the George Kittle shoes.
What type of shoes did he give you? Forces?
Yes.
He gave you some Uptowns?
Yeah. What's the? I have them upstairs, and they have a KMBR. He got KMBR put on the toe, on the lip.
The
tongue,
Nike ID ups.
Yeah, no, the white shoe. Nick Wagner always wears it. It's a white shoe with a white stripe, and it's got kind of a thick sole, and it's leather. It's all white. It's very clean. It's very
Those are
popular.
the ups. Yeah. He gave you some Forces.
So, okay, a lot of the media people were like, I'm not going to wear these shoes and lose all of my credibility. And I said to myself, and I said it out loud actually to the people in the room, I said, you guys are a joke, which of course didn't make me look good in the room, but I really don't care. And they of course push back. Why are we a joke? Why? Because we have credibility? I'm like, dude, you're eating free food 4 days a week, bought by the Niners. You're taking an extra sandwich home in your bag. You're pilfering 9 sodas a week out of the fridge. You're literally drinking water all season long, paid for by the Niners. You're going to all kinds of buffets and banquet. You're eating all kinds of free food. Stop acting like you're not taking free stuff.
Don't do that.
You are. And also, guess what? My credibility, I'm going to take those shoes, and if George Kittle sucks, I'm going to say so. And if George Kittle's great, I'm going to say so.
With the shoes on.
That's where the credibility comes from. Credibility comes from not being afraid. You know what's credibility? I'll give you credibility. Here's credibility. Going into the press conference at the end of the 24 or 23 NFC title game and waiting for everybody to ask all the questions, realize they're not going to ask about the guys who dogged it, and then asking Shanahan, hey, Kevin Givens and Chase Young were dogging it. Those guys were literally half-assing it and jaking it. Is that your culture? That is what we call aggressive coverage. That's the question that has to be asked. My credibility is tied to questions like that, and not whether I'm wearing this shoe, that shoe. Here's the shoe that I got on right now. I mean, doesn't matter what shoe I have. Coaches, what do you think of my kicks, by the way? You like my new? You go like those?
Yeah, those are fire. What are those? What kind of shoes are those?
Little Skechers. I got those.
Yeah, Larry said a little sketcher. Got a little sketch going on.
I can go some Skechers. I can fit in the old folks' home. No, but I mean, seriously, your credibility is tied to what you say and how you cover, not whether you ate a hot dog or if you wore a shoe. Now, that's how I feel about it. Other people will be like, oh, no, come on, you're not going to rip Kittle because he gave you shoes. No, I am going to rip Kittle even if he gave me shoes.
I will rip you with your shoes on.
Yeah, I joked with Kittle about it. I'm like, people said that we shouldn't have taken it as a gift because it was going to impact our ability to criticize. I think he looked at me and he's like, Krug, you're always going to have the ability to criticize. I'm like, thank you. Yeah, exactly. There we go. So I am 6'3" with those shoes, 6'1.5" without. Now, are you really 6'6", Coach?
No, who said I was 6'6"?
I don't know.
I'm 6'4".
Yeah, I was going to say you're a tall guy, but you're not 6'6".
Yeah, me and you, we've met before today. I'm 6'4".
Yeah, I was going to say, well, you're definitely taller than me, and I'm 6'1.5". So you could have been 6'5". I mean, this guy's 6'6". 6'6", I think I would have. Then you would have.
With cleats on, and with pads on, I'm easily like 6'5".
You're an intimidating guy. You're an intimidating guy. Let me ask you this. I mean,
what's up?
How many times in the last year have you been walking down the street and somebody crossed to the other side of the street because they thought you were scary looking?
No, that happens with Hannibal. When I got Hannibal with me.
I would cross to the other side of the street if I saw Hannibal.
Yeah, when I have Han with me,
I know you're a nice
space
guy
in the world.
But your face sometimes has a look of like, don't F with me. You know what I mean? So and so when you have that kind of scowl and you're a big dude, people can get.
I get that, but I also that's for my protection as well. I don't like people talking to me, man. Like I like to be the one doing the talking. So I mean,
you don't want people to approach you.
Yeah, when I got Hannibal with me, man, everybody clears. But I will say this, though. Some of the greatest people who kind of like go right over that, and they're like, oh, my God, he's a nice dog. Is he friendly? It's like, yeah, he's friendly. Come on over. So it's like, all you have to do is speak. And I'll dispel all stereotypes and narratives if you just speak to us. You know what I mean?
And but Hannibal if you don't,
yeah. He's not a barker.
What does he weigh, though?
Yeah. 160.
160. And he's very tall, and he's a big dog.
Yeah, he's a big boy. Yeah. So, I'm the only one that can handle him, but he don't know. Hannibal does not realize how big he is because of me. So he's still like a puppy, man. He'll sit on you, all that, because I do so much horsing around with him. He doesn't get it. You know what I mean?
It's probably like, it's funny. Dogs are so great. They're almost like big babies. We had a lightning storm the other day, and man, our dog does not like thunder, and she was skittish as hell. Mm-hmm. We got this one, Joseph Ernberg. As a 5'1" guy, I feel attacked. I'm friendly at bars. Miguel in the house says, hey, Larry, hey, Coach, a guy I want to know more about has been on my radar as maybe a 7th-round pick. If we trade back or undrafted free agent, if he makes the team, it's Tyron Montgomery from John Carroll.
John Carroll, yeah.
What's your guys' opinion of him? Go ahead, Coach. I mean, I saw him in the was he at the Senior Bowl?
I think he was at the Shrine Bowl or the Senior Bowl. Yeah, one of them.
I'll just say this: got good hands, got good route running, and he knows how to play the position. This guy knows how to. The ball skills are there for sure.
Career statistics: 188 catches, 2,771 reception yards, 14.7 yards per reception, 32 career touchdowns in 34 games in his career. Some of the things that I do like about him: he attacks the football at its highest point and plucks it away from defenders. He catches everything thrown his way. Catching the ball is his calling card. He's got basketball movement. It kind of shows up in his footwork. He's a basketball player as well. He doesn't go down easy after the catch either. He lowers his shoulder. This is somebody who loves contact after he catches the ball. He had a heavy target share all season, and he handled it well. He's kind of their Mr. Do-Everything when he was at John Carroll. Now, this is the thing. Film against division corners tells you everything you need to know about him. Very little about handling NFL caliber, length, and speed. I don't think that it would transfer well on the next level. He's got a narrow frame. We already talked about his body. And he's older. He turns 25 before his rookie year. So it's just a couple of things to look at when you're trying to scout Tyron Montgomery.
Yeah, I mean, just from the Brugler scouting report, 2-year starter at John Carroll. John Carroll's a really good school, by the way.
It is.
It's a good academic school. I think it's a Jesuit school. And he worked primarily on the outside. They say 76.7% of his snaps came outside. Unlikely path to the league. He worked his way from a Division III level and then dominated as a junior and a senior. He set single-season school records for catches. He had 119 catches in a year. So very interesting player. He's trying to become the first draft pick out of John Carroll since 1991. It's funny. He didn't run his first route. I mean, think about this. He didn't run his first pass route till he was 19. He didn't play his first football game. He didn't play his first football game, coach, till he was 22.
What?
Yes. Yeah. So he's gone from Division III to got invited to the Senior Bowl. And he's got route quickness. There's no question about that. Good athletic instincts. I'm looking at his measurables. They list him at 5'11 and a half, 204, 32-inch arms. Play speed is better than what his stopwatch speed says, so that's good. He plays faster than the stopwatch. So he's got great production. He dominated his level of play. He lacks football experience, obviously. He's got mediocre size and speed. But they really, he's going to be a 25-year-old NFL rookie, as Coach said. Focus drops are part of his history. Yeah, there's no question. But he's an interesting guy. He grew up outside of Houston. He was a basketball player for the most part, and then came to football really, really late. And amazing. I mean, the guy, he initially wanted to walk on at the University of Houston in 2021. The coaches there told him there weren't any available spots. So he drew interest from an FCS school, Nicholls State, and then joined them in 2022. He sat out his first season to get his academics in order. So, yeah, interesting player. I mean, told he didn't have any Division I eligibility left, and so he got an opportunity to transfer to Division III John Carroll, which has NFL pipelines because London Fletcher's there. So there's definitely some connections there. Interesting player. He looked good. He looked good at the All-Star game for sure. We got this one, TVY. Coach, back in the day, how could you tell if a small guy or a female was going to be problematic at a bar or club? It's never the big guys.
Open your mouth. That's what I tell every guy that I got at the door. When I ran security and I have an outfit for the night, depending on the crowd size and the building and the size of the venue, you're going to have anywhere from 4 to probably 15 to 20 guys working that night. If I'm running a crew, I'm working the door because I want to see every face that comes in. I want to read energy. I want to have a small conversation with you when I'm checking your IDs and I'm searching you before you come in, right? Talk to people. Get a narrative going with some people. You see somebody drop something, pick it up for them, hand it to them, smile at them, shake their hand, get in front of them. More oftentimes than not, when you reach out to have that conversation or to kind of feel somebody out, you're going to pick up cues along the way, right? And another thing about it is that when the conversation, no matter how small you have with this person, the interaction, no matter how trivial it is, that could be what gives you recognition later on in the night if something happens with that person. Hey man, we saw each other at the door, man. What's going on? Hey, I just helped you with your ID. What's going on, man? You having a good time? You got to have something to reference when you're dealing with these people, because when you're trying to kick them out, most of them are drunk. Most of them are not sober, but you need something that creates a conversation where they don't feel like they're being forced to do something they don't want to do. So you got to talk, you got to build conversations, you got to reach out to these people. And for the night, the club is my home. And everybody in there is invited by me. So that's the type of energy that you got to have when you're running security. You really got to reach out and be a tangible influence.
It's good stuff, man. I mean, I'd almost listen to you do a pod on strategy when it comes to securing a venue or securing, because I mean, it really is interesting stuff. A lot of times we're not really interested in this until somebody of note gets assassinated, and then all of a sudden it becomes a second guessing thing. But it is interesting listening to security professionals kind of talk about different security situations and how to kind of interact or to to best secure that situation. We do have this one. We got this one from B. Kirsch. He says, nice to see Krug and Coach streaming again. Absolutely. Fired up.
Love it.
Tommy Huxley, freaking Coach again. That's right.
Tommy's my guy.
That's right. Steve Lewis, Larry, do you think Coach and Damon Bruce should have a joint live reaction YouTube streams? I watch both in parallel side by side on game days. Well, it is
Damon's
interesting.
pretty good at it.
You guys both went in this direction roughly the same time, and you guys weren't the first people in the space,
right.
but you guys both identified the space as one that could use more people. And I haven't talked to him about the numbers that he's producing, but he's always telling me that he's continuing to do it. So obviously it's valuable. How would you describe the traction compared to the traction you get on a video, a live stream? How's the audience? Is it the same people that watch you post game, watch you in game, or is it different? People?
No, it's different. So I have regulars, which the coaches huddle, we got our huddle, right? So we got the heart of the huddle, which is the people that watch me regularly. And those people, those supporters usually are there for the week, right? They're there throughout all of my shows and everything. However, you do get people that watch for the reactions. They watch for the energy. They watch for just me. They want to hear what it sounds like for, somebody with my ability to call a game, So the numbers, it's the flagship show of my channel.
It is.
It's the flagship show of my channel. I love doing the calling shows, and I love doing shows with you, but I'm telling you, man, calling the games is what I do. That's kind of what they love to watch me for, and I do. It's replicated in the numbers. I get the most traction during game days.
Wow, that's incredible. I will say this. I think it definitely, there are people that feel that everybody's copying everybody. And so the in-game stuff, it's like the one thing for sure is that the person that you're watching is not copying anybody because you're seeing it in real time. It's the play just happened and you're getting the analysis right now. So from that perspective, I think, if you're seeking out authenticity, I think it's pretty authentic.
Oh, we get fired up, Larry. We get fired up,
seriously.
man.
I've done one before, but I can't do them for Niners because I want to talk after the game. I want to gather my thoughts in game, and I might have thoughts in the third quarter that I don't really by the end of the game. I maybe don't have those thoughts because of the way the game went. So I don't know. I like to wait, but I think it's good. And I looked at some of the people that have done it, and I don't think they're all that great. I'm not talking about you or Damon, but people that I saw like years ago that I thought it looked pretty dry, it looked pretty dull, but the numbers that the in-game stuff produces are big. So I would definitely encourage people if that's something that you dig, there's definitely room for that. There's a lot of people that covet that. Thomas Selman says out on Malachi in round one.
Too many shoulder injuries.
He did have surgery. That's in the Beast, by the way. That's in the draft guide. I didn't know anything about the shoulder injuries until literally the other day because I read about it in the Beast. I do have one guy that I do want to share the screen with and show you on our way out the door. And it's just one of my favorite guys. I stumbled on a guy named Carlos Allen from Houston. Are you familiar?
Okay. No.
With Carlos Allen? I'm going to see if I can get this up here. This kid is a short. I find guys like this every year. He's 6 feet, 295. He's from Atlanta. He started off at Kennesaw State,
Georgia,
and he is University of Houston. Carlos Allen Jr. And there was a video on him yesterday, and just I stumbled into it, and I'll see if I can find it for you. But I really like this player, and he's a short defensive tackle, but he's just a tackle making monster. And the guy had 14 tackles in a game. Here we go. Here's his regular season highlights. I will share the screen on this guy. And it's an odd, usually if I'm finding a guy now, it's generally not good. But here it is. Let's see what happened here. Okay. Got to do a poll question. Okay.
Man in motion. Hardiman again on the carry. He's a smaller tailback, still pushing with the leg.
So here he is. He's 11, but he's 290. But he's 295. And if you look at his football card, the guy makes a ton of plays. He's really, really talented. Carlos Allen.
Okay, Carlos Allen.
University. But give you an example. Against Oregon State this year, he made
did he go to the
13
combine?
tackles. No, he did Big 12 second teamer. Okay. Hell of a player.
Yeah, I'm going to go look at him some more.
Academic.
Howdy said he looks like a chubby linebacker.
Academic all Big 12.
Okay.
34 stops, led all Big 12 interior defensive linemen, ranked second among all Big 12 linemen, ranked in the top 15 in the nation among interior defensive linemen in the Big 12 in both PFF defense grade and run defense grade. Led the Cougars with 80 tackles. How many defensive tackles lead their team in tackles? Led the FBS interior linemen in tackles. He had 2 games with 10-plus tackles. He had 9 games with 5-plus tackles. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's about he was the captain of the team. I mean, this guy, 3-time All-City, academic honor roll in high school. The guy's really smart. His dream job is commercial real estate. I mean, he's a big fan of the Bernie Mac show.
That's my show, bro.
No, but anyway, Carlos Allen, amazing film. I'm running into these guys in the 11th hour. All right, that is going to do it for us. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle. Thanks to Sharp Corners, Sports Cards and Collectibles. The great Anthony Catania is at 831-521-5264. And of course, thanks. Their links are in the description for all of our sponsors: Novato Chevrolet, Alamar Marina, you name it. Thank you to all of them. There are links in the description for all of our sponsors. Thanks again to Prize Picks and of course Pig and a Pickle. But Coach, I'll give you the final word as we bolt for the door on this Saturday. We got a couple weeks until the draft. We're fired up. Today is the 11th. The draft's on the 23rd. Oh, we didn't mention. Why don't we finish with Cam Sample? The Niners picked up Cam Sample, and it's an interesting pickup. I mean, what was your thought when you first saw that one?
Well, we need depth. The biggest thing that I've seen with the edge position right now is that where we are, we stand basically with Mykel Williams, Nick Bosa, and Keon White, and Sam O. Out of the 4 of those guys I just named, 3 of them are hurt. So that's a huge deal. We got 3 hurt guys. We need all outside of the 4 guys that I named is we have William Bradley King and Andrew Farmer II on our team. We need edges. We're just bereft of the position. I don't even want to disrespect the guys that we have right now and say whether or not they're going to be good enough or even if they're going to be healthy enough. But right now, we don't even have enough bodies. So the Cam Sample pickup, I like it. One thing that I do see is that, he's not old, thank God. So he's at 26 years old, coming out of Cincinnati. And I'd love to see what he does for us.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big body guy who I think is going to be able to, in the wide 9, have things simplified. And I think he's an inside-outside guy, I think in some ways he could be a replacement for Robert Beal. It's more of a depth piece, but there's talent there. I mean, it's not. I don't think he's just somebody. The immediate negative reaction was, "Oh, camp body. Yeah, he's a camp body." But I think he's more than a camp body. I think he's slightly more than a camp body, and I would expect him to probably make the team. One last thought on our way out the door. This is Juice on the Rome show, and he was asked about Purdy, and here's what he said. There we go. Here we go.
Wow, Jim Rome looks good.
Like, we have so much fun with Brock. Like, if we're not even like talking about football, like just hanging out with the guy, he's the ultimate competitor. Like, you know, after the season, a big group of us went down to Cabo, and it's nonstop competition. We're playing pool basketball. You know, we're playing bocce ball. There was a like one of those baseball nets that you like throw the baseball in, and we're using a football, and you got to play pig from this field, like and hit it in there, and like we're playing golf together, and it's just always a competition, and you know, it's just guys being guys together, and I love that about Brock. And I love that in my quarterback. Like, I want the most competitive person in the world as my quarterback, and I think that's exactly what we got in Brock. And you know, it's like you said, I don't know what it is, what it's going to take for this guy to finally get like the respect that I think he truly deserves. Because I mean, season in, season out, he plays tremendously, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just that the fact that he's not a first-round draft pick, like if that is just going to be the story for his entire career and be kind of held against him, maybe. But I love the guy, you know, as a person, as my quarterback, as a football player. Like, he is the dude.
I mean, it's such great price. I appreciate that so much. Like, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks when the guys in the locker room love the guy. They're the only ones who really, truly matter. What about Brock?
Right.
Like, you got inside his head. Do you think that it bothers him on any level?
You know what? I'm sure just as a human, there's that tiny, tiny sliver. But Brock does such an incredible job of blocking out the noise. Like, he's really not active on like social media. And I know that because like I'll send him something like early in the day. And then like after practice, I'll be like, hey, did you see what I sent you? Or I'll ask him about it and he'll be like, what are you talking about? I'm like, all right, yeah, he didn't check. He is really good at just focusing on, you know, what is important to him.
What do you think of that, Coach? And by the way, to die or not to die? Rome obviously dies.
Oh my God, yes.
And that's he's got dark hair.
Sponsored by Sharpie. My Lord.
Would you rather let yourself go naturally gray, or are you going to be a dye job guy? Will you dye your hair? Your hair is jet black right now?
Yeah, I'm going salt and pepper, man. I'm bringing in the.
Are you gonna?
Once it goes, man. I'm you know.
You're not going dye job.
I don't mind showing my age. You know what I mean? Like if the beard goes gray, the beard goes gray. You know what I mean? It is what it is. My only thing is, I want hair that'll change colors. That's a blessing. I can't go bald. I need that. I don't want to lose anything. So that's all I care about is going bald.
Right. But if you have a good shaped head, see, that's the thing. If you have a good shaped head, you might be able to get away with it. One last stat I'm going to show on the board here for Purdy, because this is I saw this from Warren Sharp. Look at this stat: third down EPA. I don't even know what goes into EPA. Brock Purdy's number one over Burrow. Everybody, look at this list. I don't know what I can't even tell you what goes into EPA, but 0.51 Brock Purdy, huge gap, far and away number one in EPA. What does it mean, Coach?
It just means dead numbers that he found in a list, man.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, but I'm not necessarily a stats guy. They are important, but they just help you. They help you lend context to a bigger story. I don't think that stats are literally everything. So, you know, it's nice. It's good.
Win the bowl. He's going to. The question that Juice was asking there. He's not going to get his respect until he wins the ultimate game. But once he wins the ultimate game, he will get that respect. And if he doesn't win that game, he's never going to get it. And I think that's the way it should be. I mean, I think that's the way it should be. All right, that's going to do it for us. We're in, we're out. It was a longer stream than I thought we were going to do.
We're never going to get an hour, bro.
We're never going to get out. But we're going to try. We're going to try. We're going to try to keep this at 90 minutes at some point. But Coach,
we're going to do it, bro.
What do you got cooking the rest of your Saturday? You got Hannibal for a run, or do you already take him?
Yeah, I got to take Hannah for a run. Got my weight vest back, so we about to throw on 40 pounds and start huffing it. So Coach got to lose weight. I got to lose weight, guys. So this season, I'm coming in slim and trim. So I need to lose about 100 pounds. So we're going to do
Wow.
some
So
road
what are you
work.
doing? What are you weighing right now?
I'm at like 420.
You're over
Right now?
You're over 4.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm over 4 for sure.
Okay, so
So-
and you want to get down to about 315, 320, something like that?
Yeah, like 315, 320. I mean, I would love, and that's only kind of like what I need to do in the first phase of things. Truthfully, I need to be 250 pounds. I need to be around 250, 260. Getting older, and I need to stop lugging around all this weight. So we're going to go do some road work like we always do, get back on the road and sweat it out. And really, to be honest with you, Larry, it is the food. You have to get back on a good diet with your food. So we're ready, man. The road to Coach slimming down. So we about to get it done.
Do it, man. Fired up for you. We want Coach around. Longevity. How do you can't kick ass on YouTube if you're not around. So there you go. That's going to do it for us. Thanks to Coach. Thanks to all of you guys. Have a great rest of your Saturday. Peace.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you gon' get